Hi, Virgo and Virgo Rising. Here is your astrology overview for 2025. This is going to be a general overview for anyone who has a sun sign in Virgo or a rising sign, and this is based on Western tropical sun sign astrology, and I'm using the whole house systems. So again, it's very basic, very general. Your chart may be completely different depending on where your alignments are, so keep that in mind. But this year is a monumental year for everyone, but especially you guys. Now, why am I saying that? Because this year we have several things going on that are going to change your life forever. So 2025 is a significant year for Virgo. Anything to do with Virgo energy, Virgo sun, Virgo rising, even Virgo moon. Because we have the eclipses this year, which are going to be in Virgo and Pisces, your opposite signs, so it'll affect your partnerships and relationships, but mostly your identity. And then we have the North Node switching from Aries into Pisces with a South Node in Virgo. What that means is there's a lot of psychological changes that are going to occur this year. There is a lot of activity in your 8th house of transformation this year, including 2 planets that are going to enter that 8th house and begin to change things at the deepest fundamental level within you. Now, the other areas that it could pertain to is finances. There could be a lot of issues with finances this year, meaning your investments, your retirement accounts, anything to do with making money that involves other people. So I'll show you what I'm talking about as we go through these slides. And so prepare yourself, because this is going to be such a huge year for change. Now, the second half of the year looks a little bit better. The first half, it's really a little shaky, I'm going to be honest with you, because we have retrograde planets, including Venus retrograde, and we start off the year with Mars retrograde. So this is a year where everyone is going to feel some sort of change. It's that strong of a year. Okay, so let's get into it, and I'll cover what I'm talking about here. So first, we have to start off with the obvious here. This is like the elephant in the room. As soon as we start off the new year, we have this Mars retrograde. And so here we have it. It started on December the 6th and goes all the way through February 24th. Now, it starts off in Leo, then backtracks into Cancer. And for you guys, it has a lot to do with how you connect with others. It's going to have a lot to do with family dynamics. It's going to have a lot to do with your foundation, your home, because it'll be in Cancer. Cancer is associated with all of these things I just mentioned. Your emotions. It's going to make you very nostalgic this year, especially as we begin the year, because of the retrograde. Retro just means going back, going within. And so you're going to find yourself really trying to connect with the past in some way. Friendships, organizations, community, acquaintances. The first couple of months of 2025, you're in that mindset. Now, it will move direct after the 24th, but then it'll go through Leo, which is a creative phase that you find yourself in. And it won't be until June, I believe the 18th, that Mars enters your sign and you feel much more motivated to change, to move, to do something different. So let's go on and see what else is going on this year. So we also have, here are the 4 planets that are going to be switching signs. Now, normally in a year we have 2, maybe 3 planets switching, but we've got all 4 of the outer planets, and Pluto, last year on November the 19th actually made it official and has gone into Aquarius. So we have here in Neptune switching signs from Pisces into Aries, and also Saturn going into Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so basically it's about a new beginning. It's starting something new, a new way of looking at the world. And so this is going to be a very creative and very structured creativity that's coming in for many of you, because these 2 are going to fall into your 8th house of transformation. So your minds are going to be extremely active. The deepest, part of your psyche is going to be activated here. Okay, and you have the dates, the 30th and the 24th, and this is where that energy starts to build up. So it's suggesting that you change the way you view the world, the way you process information, the way you deal with your finances, the way you have shared resources. Many of you may be having a little bit of a nervous breakdown at this time. So you need to be very mindful of this energy. This is why I do what I do. I try and give you guys a heads up on what's coming so you could better prepare yourself, okay? It's not a doom and gloom. It is a massive transformation when you have Neptune and Saturn in the 8th house. So things related to, death and rebirth, things related to finance, insurance, taxes, even sexuality to a certain extent. This all falls under the umbrella of the 8th house. And these are going to be, right there, your consciousness. And, this is, again, the 8th house has a lot to do with the past as well. And speaking of the past, Jupiter will enter Cancer as well. And that'll be in that 11th house as well. And so we have this very nostalgic, going down memory lane kind of feeling beginning on June the 9th. More sensitivity, more emotion, working and focusing on your future, maybe even doing something with land or real estate. This is all going to be highlighted as Jupiter makes its way into Cancer. Now, this one is very important as well. On July the 7th, Uranus will finally leave Taurus after like 7.5 years, and it'll enter Gemini at the very high point of your chart. So what that is suggesting is major change to your career, your status, doing something that's innovative. Communication will continue to go through the roof, ideas, percolating, concepts, anything to do with the future. This is all going to be in the works for many of you. So I'm going to say this as best I can. Your mind will be on overload this year. Between Uranus and Gemini and these planets in Aries and all of this other energy that's coming in, your minds will be on overload. So please do something to quiet the mind in terms of overthinking. So physical activity usually helps. Being around animals. Virgo and Virgo rising love animals. Be around animals. Water, being around water. This is all things that could help you this year as you go through this massive shift in consciousness. Okay? So here are the major dates that you could focus on. And events will occur and can occur around these dates here, give or take a week or so. Sometimes up to 2 weeks. So we see that January 6th, Mars enters retrograde. It goes back, retrograde into Cancer, It goes back into your 11th house. So you're longing for the past, past neighborhoods, past friendships, past acquaintance. You're absolutely going down memory lane. Now, January 11th, very important. The North Node enters Pisces. This has a lot to do with relationships for you this year. So there's going to be some new relationships, and there's going to be many relationships that undergo massive changes this year that you'll need to pay attention to. This could be a primary focus. Everything seems to be this year about others and other people and how you're either involved in helping them or they're helping you. So there's a lot of that going on. February gets a little tricky. The North Node conjuncts Neptune. Okay, and this is going to be in Pisces and in that 7th house. So this has a lot to do with connections with spiritual people, religious folks, feeling like you're destined to be with someone or destined to do something in a partnership-related matter. So just be careful and be realistic about the expectations here. Also, towards the end of the month, Mars will come out of retrograde in Cancer. So your motivation will start to go up. But I suggest not making any life-changing decisions because as we begin March, as you can see here, March 1st into the 2nd, Venus goes retrograde in Aries. Once again, in that 8th house of transformation. So once again, you're thinking a lot about financial matters. You're thinking a lot about your legacy or, things pertaining to death and rebirth and, just a strong nostalgia about relationships in general. Hey, we used to do this and we used to do that. And so this is all tying that in. But March is very important because we also have 2 eclipses in March. One of them is in your sign on the 14th. And that's about basically leaving something behind and not focusing on it anymore or coming to some sort of realization about your current situation, your life, and your purpose. And that's going to be very important. And then towards the end of the month, we have another eclipse on the 29th that's going to be in Aries, once again highlighting that 8th house of rebirth, of change. Okay, so you're embracing a new way of looking at things. And here we have on the 30th, Neptune enters Aries as well. So that 8th house is going to be pummeled with planets and activity this year. And it's just the first couple of months of the year. So this is why I said it's a very psychological, transformational year for many of you. Okay, the better time is actually going to be in April and May, going into June. These are much more favorable alignments. We have Saturn conjunct in the North Node. You feel like you're destined to do something different. There's a relationship that is center stage at this point that you'll need to be focusing on. Maybe some of you get married, some of you get divorced, some of you start a new relationship, a new business partnership. There is that strong possibility here in April. As we go into May, we have Jupiter square the North Node. This could be a little bit of a question mark. Jupiter will be still in Gemini squaring the nodes. And so what this is suggesting is, which way do I go? I'm not sure. Do I, go to this place? Do I go to that place? So you may have to make a decision here, but it'll be okay. You'll figure it out, because on May the 24th, Saturn enters Aries as well. So it'll help boost your desire to change and desire to focus on your well-being, your investments, just overall, lots of energy coming in, lots of thinking, processing, and reinventing oneself. When a planet switches into Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, there's an initiative, there's a pioneering spirit to reinvent oneself. So that's what I mean by transformation. June the 9th, Jupiter enters Cancer. That is your 11th house. Now you have a fresh new outlook on life, and you're saying to yourself, I need to travel. I need to explore. I need to go see new things. And that's what is going to propel you forward. From the end of May into June, you're going to feel very strong to change in some way, or to move, or to be a part of a community, setting. In the middle of June, it's a little tricky because Jupiter begins to square Saturn and also begins to square Neptune. Squares are usually challenges, and we have to adjust to them. And so we may see a little blip in the radar here in terms of where you've moved to or where you're moving to and your plans for the future. Now, some of this stuff may not be your own doing because, we have a financial system that's teetering on collapse, and we have a political system that is undergoing a massive transformation. So we may indirectly be affected by all of that, okay? And then in July, the energy just explodes because Uranus is going to enter Gemini. And that's when, things just really start to change dramatically for many of you. And again, it has to do with your thinking, the way you process information, how you see the world, your career, your status. This is all going to change for many of you, okay? So here we have some favorable alignments coming in August. August and September is your time of the year. But here we have August 11th, Saturn sextiles Uranus. So we could be in for some nice little surprises that come into the mix for many of you. And so this could have to do with financial matters. It could have to do with career, and surprise changes. Maybe you're in a new environment that you're adjusting to the new people in your life. August the 28th, Uranus sextiles Neptune. Once again, we're seeing some major changes to your job, your career, how you're seen in the public. You're getting all kinds of flashes and inspiration at this point because Neptune's in a very psychic position. Uranus is a very futuristic alignment. So you're going to see a lot of changes occurring, and you'll be, a little bit surprised that some of this stuff comes your way, but I think some of it could be good. September the 3rd, Jupiter trines the North Node. Okay, this is usually a favorable one where you enjoyment, excitement about some sort of change that's occurring, or a new friend comes into your life at this point, a new organization, and this is going to be something that I think you might quite enjoy at this point. And as we wind down the year, November the 20th, Uranus sextiles Neptune, but this time they've retrograded back into the previous signs. So Uranus will be in Taurus for the last time, and Neptune will be in Pisces for the last time. And here we see sort of whatever issue has come up from the past will resurface here once again as we wind down the year of 2025. And you're dealing with friendships, you're dealing with values, you're dealing with belief systems, you're dealing with anything to do with finance, because Uranus is going to be in Taurus for the last time. And so you're looking at every possible scenario having to do with your investments and your savings. All of that stuff are going to be on the table. But I think it's going to be beneficial and you'll get through it. Okay? Pluto enters Aquarius. Now, this is going to be huge for many of you. I touched upon it in several other videos, but Pluto in Aquarius is going to stay in that 6th house of daily routine, health, service to others, and so it's going to revolutionize your 6th house. What I mean by that is it's got you focusing on new innovative ways to better care for yourself, innovative ways to be productive at work, innovative ways about technology. This is all the themes with Pluto going through Aquarius in your 6th house. So this is going to be monumental for many of you. And Pluto will be interacting with Saturn and Uranus and even Jupiter this year. So you could expect some major changes having to do with your daily routine, your life, your health. So pay attention to your health this year, because the energy is going to be really strong. And, sometimes throughout the year, you may not be feeling 100% because the energy is so heavy and so draining. The energy just keeps getting heavier for all of us. So we need to adapt accordingly. Now, again, I just want to reiterate the North Node entering Pisces. So here are the dates. It's July 26, 2026. And during this period, it's about embracing themes of compassion, spirituality, creativity, intuition, while letting go of overanalysis, perfectionism, and excessive practical association with the South Node in Virgo. Now, this is pertaining to you guys who are sun sign Virgos, rising sign Virgo. You guys are perfectionists, so you're always analyzing everything. So the South Node is suggesting you let go of some of that, desire to analyze. And I put together this slide here, and it's very simple. With the South Node in Virgo, I must release judgments towards self and others, a false sense of control, nitpicking, and micromanaging. At the same time, embracing here empathy, compassion, spirituality, faith in something greater than yourself. Many of you are going to turn to religion. Many of you are going to turn to God or spirituality in some way, because this is a very big transformational year. And usually when people go through that, they embrace some sort of religion. So this is going to be very important for many of you. Okay, Venus goes retrograde. Here are the dates: March the 2nd through April the 12th. It'll start off in Aries, which is your 8th house, and backtrack into your 7th house of relationships. So you're not done with a relationship yet. Okay, somebody from the past may resurface, or ideas and concepts associated with that relationship or financial matters will be resurfacing this year. And so this is going to be a very important year, like I said, for relationships, closures, realizing that things are transforming at a deepest level, and many of you will have to face this. Here are the eclipse dates that you need to focus on. There's that one on the 13th and 14th. In Virgo, your sign, it's about letting go of something that's not working for you anymore. Moving on, reinventing yourself, changing your appearance. That is all in the mix here in March. And then here's the second one, March the 29th in Aries. This is that 8th house again. Changing your thinking, becoming stronger, reinventing everything about yourself at this point. Okay, but again, I suggest do not make any life-changing decisions until the middle of April, when Venus comes out of retrograde. Here is the other one in September. September, it is about lunar eclipse, and it's in Pisces, your opposite sign, the 7th house. So it's about a relationship that you have to come to terms with. This is not working anymore. I need to move on. They need to move on. We have to realize that it's just run its course, and this has a lot to do with that. Now, this other solar eclipse is you completely reinventing yourself, because notice it's a solar eclipse, which is something new, in Virgo, your sign. So in order to build something new, you have to let go of the old self in order to make way for the new self. So again, friends, this is a powerful year for transformation at the deepest level, physical, emotional, psychologically, monetarily, you name it. It's that big. Once again, here is a snapshot of all the alignments. Take a screenshot of this or jot them down. Stop the video and jot them down. You want to focus on these time frames because major turning points will occur around these dates. Once again, the most significant thing of the year is Uranus, not just Uranus entering Gemini, but Saturn and Neptune entering Aries and that 8th house of transformation. Huge, 2025 and 2026. Jupiter entering Cancer on the 29th, there it is, of 2026. It finally leaves Cancer. So take advantage while it is in a favorable alignment in your chart, which means traveling, real estate matters, moving, enjoying your friendships. That's what it signifies. There is the Uranus right there. It'll go into Gemini until October the 7th. Then it retrogrades back into Taurus. But it'll last all the way till 2033. So significant changes coming to the career and status section of your chart, which is the 10th house. Okay? And finally, here are a couple of favorable dates that you want to pay attention to, about a week on either side, that look really good. But September is another transformational month because of those other two eclipses coming in. So just keep that in mind. Okay, here they are. The 7th and the 21st. Very powerful eclipses that you want to pay attention to. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to know more, I have an extended version of this 2025 overview in my private community here, and I left the link down below. And in there, I have weekly astrologies to help guide you. We do Zoom calls every Sunday, and of course, you could ask me any questions you want during those Zoom calls right there, and you could learn astrology in there. I got a whole 6-module course. And you connect with others that are like-minded. So consider it. It's a free 7-day trial, so you got nothing really to lose. And so, I'll do my best to connect with as many of you as possible. So Virgo and Virgo rising, have a fabulous year. It's a huge year for change. Embrace it. Go, adapt accordingly and do the best you can. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.